So we've been delayed. Have mercy.
With his car, not like...
Yeah.
I was in my car.
I was going to say he got hit by his car. I was like, oh, that's...
I'm actually paralyzed in a hospital bed right now with the mic on me.
We are that dedicated to this podcast.
That's right. That's right. So I feel like there's all these elements, like God's like, nobody likes Nerd Takeout. Stop doing it.
Hurricanes and cars.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're back. This week, obviously, we're going to be, I say obviously, there's no way for y'all to know this. We're going to be talking about, for the first half, we're going to be talking about Borderlands 2, because we've all got it, we've all played it, and give our 2 cents. I really think, we actually all have pretty common opinions on it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it's going to be us versus Neil, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that after.
Just like in Neil's favorite game, Mario Party, 3 versus 1.
I could probably still win that if it was 3 versus 1. Bullshit game.
Well, Anyway, so before we get started into Borderlands, it's been a little bit, so we'd like to talk about things we've seen, played, read, whatever. Who wants to go first?
I think Andrew should go first.
Yeah, I think so. Andrew never goes first.
Well, I haven't been doing anything but playing Borderlands 2. Honestly, I really haven't. It's kind of taken over my life for the last week.
You didn't see any movies or anything?
I have not. I haven't seen a movie in like a month.
Yeah, what's your
I
vice?
need to go see.
You have been watching Breaking Bad.
I have been destroying Breaking Bad.
Have you written anything in the last week?
No, I haven't. I've been reading Book 2 of Game of Thrones. I've been watching Breaking Bad.
Where are you in Breaking Bad?
I just started season 4.
Okay.
Oh, you finished season 3?
I finished season 3.
Okay, no more.
And I'm voodoo shit everywhere.
I'll just finish season 3 before our next podcast. I can do that.
Yeah.
That show is insane.
And then we can talk about it.
Time capsule edition.
Yeah.
We'll talk about seasons.
Then we can talk about it.
Exactly. Run away.
Sorry, anyways.
Where were we? Oh, no, that's it. No, Borderlands 2. That's
good.
That's
It works. That's believable.
Josh, what about you?
So obviously, Borderlands 2. I've been playing Borderlands 2. Again, we'll talk about it a little bit. I started playing Dragon Quest 9.
Game is awesome.
I actually, a little bit of transparency here. I've never this is the first Dragon Quest game that I've played.
It's a really good starting point, though.
It is. I was
kind of.
I
mean, I don't feel like it's really like a regular Dragon Quest game, but it's fun. I mean, I love it.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Well, I got so I was telling him, it's a fun game. I'm enjoying it. I love the music. I think the music's great, and I was cleaning this game's clock, dude. I was just walking around, and I got to one point where this dude's just every time it's maybe a 2-minute battle, and he's just laying me out, and then but I didn't I was like, oh, I gotta look this up. This is pissing me off. So I went back and I realized I didn't realize that was the point in time where you were supposed to create a party. And I was just like,
I actually did the same thing when I played 9. And it's funny because I knew that you were supposed to create parties in the game. I just didn't even think about that.
Right. I mean, and I didn't know that. Once I did that, I went back, and beat him. But
that's a good. The game's really deep too.
We should all play that one day here. Well, maybe not Andrew. I have 2 DSs actually. I could just give you a copy. I have 2 copies of the game too.
Okay.
For some reason.
We should. I bet they haven't had a good Nintendo system since Nintendo 64.
That's so true. I'm still gonna get into that.
God, the only one they messed up on. Is that all you've been doing? You haven't been watching Kill Bill? I see that over there.
No, I haven't. But I've been watching. I actually, because like I said, I got in an accident on Tuesday, so we're laying in bed, and my brother let me borrow. My brother has all the seasons of Dragon Ball. So just randomly one day, I was
Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball?
Just Dragon Ball.
Wow.
And I was like, hey, let me, and I watched a few episodes, but I've probably watched in the past few days. I've probably watched 10 of those things. Dude,
is Dragon Ball like just as much of a soap opera as Dragon Ball Z was? Because I never really got into Dragon Ball.
It's really not.
Dragon Ball Z was every episode was nothing, drama. Wait, you gotta watch the next one.
No, this one's actually, as far as where I'm at now, it's very comedic. It's also very filthy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's way worse than Japanese. Some of the stuff they censored here is way worse. But
it's more comedic, honestly.
Dragon Quest's gonna look exactly the same as Dragon Ball Z. So.
I mean, it's of course.
Same art.
But I think the thing that's funny about Dragon Ball is you have this character Goku who's had no interaction with anybody except for his grandfather, and the way that he reacts to things, I feel is incredibly appropriate to how someone in that situation would react.
Especially females.
Especially females, yes. And I don't know. I think it's hilarious. So then I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. So it's just, and I never really watched much Dragon Ball, so it's interesting to see like the origins of like Master Roshi, who never really does anything in Z.
How long is Dragon Ball?
Dragon Ball is like 6 or 7 seasons.
Really? Maybe I'll watch that. I think
It's
I've
like 6 or 7 seasons. Yeah.
And
And I mean, there's like 20 something episodes a season, but they're only like 20 minutes a piece.
it's probably not as good as Sailor Man, but it's probably.
Oh yeah, it totally got me there. I don't know who started. I went and saw Dread. It was definitely entertaining. We about a week and a half ago, I went and saw Dread Wednesday night. And like 2 weeks ago, I watched The Raid Redemption. Andrew had been talking about.
Oh man, have we all seen that yet?
No, I need to go watch that.
I need to.
If you are a fan of action films, go watch The Raid Redemption. It's phenomenal. The choreography, it's a phenomenal film.
I hear good things.
And Dread is a lot like that, where it's just very basic story. Just get him into this building and go. And it's the same concept for both the films. And I feel like in a lot of ways, The Raid Redemption was better as far as the choreography and the gun action. But
There's a robot here.
Yeah, fifth member of the podcast. But like, we've talked about how I'm not a big proponent of putting 3D on everything, and I typically don't go see things in 3D. But I specifically went and saw this in 3D.
I was just about to ask you. I really didn't think you would have saw it in 3D.
Yeah, I went and saw it in 3D, and the 3D in this was actually really cool because what it was, there's a drug in the film, and it's probably in the comics too. It's called slow-mo, and it's basically like
It's a creative name.
It's like a you're lighting up a bong and smoking it, but what it does is it slows your perception of time down to 1% of like what time would actually be. So whenever people get high on this stuff, like it does this super saturated bright thing, and like you see the smoke or like the water, they're just like watching the water.
So it's like slow-mo.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. But it's like
like slow motion.
I get it now.
But it's like the way they do it, like with the water and the colors. It's really cool. And then of course like the when people.
So 3D good?
I would say go see it.
Do you know if they filmed it in 3D?
I know that was a big portion of their marketing. I mean, that was like a big thing. They
think-
wanted to do like a good 3D action movie.
Okay.
I would assume that at least the
Probably.
slow-mo scenes were probably.
Okay.
If not, then they did a fantastic job of doing it post-conversion. But I mean,
Gotcha.
it's called like Dread 3D. Yes. Yeah. That's in there. It's in there. He says it. Anyway, so I keep going on that. But anyway, so I think that's about it. I don't know. So
There's a new Hobbit trailer that came out.
Oh,
that was really
I'll
good.
tell you what. Whenever we were watching Dread, they showed the Hobbit trailer, but I actually got to see it in 3D. And that's the
Very cool.
first time. And it actually.
Like how many frames per second was it at?
I don't know. I think like 85 or something. But it actually looked like it actually. Like I will not. I'm not gonna go see it in 3D at least for my first time. But I could see like just the depth.
Gosh, I don't understand when you say that. It makes me so.
Why-
I don't even
why-
understand what that means. I'm not gonna see it 3D my first time. Might ruin it. What the hell does that mean?
It means exactly what you just said. Because
Uh,
I might get
pompous.
so aggravated that I was watching it in 3D and get a headache that I'm just like, I don't enjoy this movie anymore. Because you've never heard of people getting headaches when they watch 3D?
Yeah, old men. Whatever. This is fine. This is fine. Whatever. This works.
So should we
Dave's
talk
got a
about
headache from playing
how
with
it darkens
3DS.
the screen and then there's some
Yeah.
some color? And,
Yeah, it's a horrible idea to put a movie in 3D that you just recommended 2 seconds ago to watch.
I didn't say it's a horrible idea to put a
No.
movie in 3D, but I won't be seeing The Hobbit in 3D at first. I might go back and see it that way later if I like the movie.
What if they have slow mo in The Hobbit?
Then it's probably better.
I still wouldn't go see it.
That's what
That's why it's 3 parts. That's why it's 3 movies.
That's what Gandalf's smoking.
We were talking about that because when I was at work today, they had one of the Lord of the Rings movies. I actually don't even know which one it was that was on the screen when I was watching it at work today. And like some of the CG and stuff I was looking at, I was like, man, this is gonna do this so much better when they do the Hobbit movie. And I'm just really interested to see like if it is like a big leap, if it looks like a big leap to us, or if it's not gonna look like that big of a leap or not. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the Gollum looked pretty. I mean, whenever they came out with Lord of the Rings, like James Cameron had written Avatar.
When was that again? Like
2001.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I know that James Cameron had
2001 was the first
wrote Avatar and shelved it because like it's just not. I can't do what I want to do with this
probably
right
a
now.
smart idea.
And then whenever he saw Gollum, he was like, okay,
My time has come.
yeah, exactly. So,
Gollum is my
but we'll save the 3D thing for one other podcast. I actually have a criteria in which I will go see films in 3D, and The Hobbit does not meet that criteria.
It'll probably end up being another 3 versus 1 on Neil.
Whatever.
Let me put it this way. There was one time I was watching a movie in 3D, and someone stuck a shotgun in my face, and I said, this is why I go see movies in 3D.
Okay. Whatever. whatever. It's fine. We can move on from that.
All right, Neil, go.
Me?
Yes.
What have I been doing this week? I've also been playing a lot of Borderlands 2. That
how
game's
about
pretty
that?
awesome. No, but then I played FTL, which I'll talk about at some point or write about it. It's a really good game. It's on PC. And I watched the Phoenix Wright movie in Japanese, and that was amazing. Everyone should watch that whenever it becomes available to watch. I don't really know
Whenever you
if
learn
that's happening. I know it's coming at some point. I don't really remember when it's supposed to be coming.
Gosh,
And then-
he probably finished the film and hasn't given a second thought.
So, I was writing the other 5 movies that I was
He's
making
gonna
this
shoot
year.
yeah.
But no, I actually, other than that, though, I turned on my Wii. I guess all this like Wii U, all this Wii U news was like, man, maybe I should try the Wii again. I have all these games I've never played.
Right.
So I started playing Monster Hunter Tri, and that game was really fun. So I played that for a good bit, and then I just played a whole bunch of Super Nintendo games that I have on my Wii. So I don't know. The Wii, I really like the Wii, like the Wii controller, like the Wii remote. Like when I'm playing like old games or anything that uses it like Mario does, like when you turn it sideways.
Right.
I just feel like that controller is surprisingly really, really, really comfortable and small and light and just I don't know. I really like it.
pretty
I
versatile
I really do
It's
like
the
the Wii.
directional pad. It's like how many buttons is on it? Like
Yeah, it's just that and the D. Yeah, it plays like an old regular Nintendo controller, and just Nintendo's D-pad's always really nice. And like the Wii got so much hate for a lot of different reasons from people, but like there are some really good games on the Wii, and not just first party. Like there are some good third party games on the Wii. It's just that I don't know, just being like SD and compared to what Xbox and PS3 were offering at the time, it just got overshadowed a lot. But there's a lot of good stuff there on the Wii, and I feel like later on, or at least because the Wii U is backwards compatible, hopefully maybe people will be able to play.
I think so. I think so too.
Yeah, that's really all I've been doing.
cool. John Michael, with
So-
your DS in your hand.
Yeah, so I currently have in my hand a DS. I'm playing Pokemon Black because I'm trying to EV train some Pokemon because I have a battle coming up next week. This is nerd takeout,
We're
right?
selling tickets to that, by the
I'm
way.
allowed to be this kind of nerdy.
No.
Yeah, I just picked up Pokemon Black again to start EV training some Pokemon. So I'm getting to like the nitty gritty of this game, really. Taking out, I guess, the childish elements, so to speak, of these like adorable pocket monsters that you fight with like ridiculous attacks. Anyway, that is what I've been doing. Of course, aside from Borderlands.
Yeah, point
I really honestly, that's pretty much all I've been doing. Honestly, I don't think I've seen a movie since then. So. Or read a
Before
book
we
or
roll
anything.
into Borderlands, I mean, we want to thank you all for listening, and people that contribute and give us feedback, even whenever you aggressively disagree with what we say.
You're allowed to do that.
We appreciate the fact that you are that emotionally invested in what we're saying.
Or tell us that you just can't listen because we just don't know what we're talking about.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll bring you on since you know what you're talking about.
Or we'll just laugh at you behind your back. One of those.
We'll bring you on. Hey,
That'd be fun.
God.
Put someone in the hot seat on this thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just 4-on-1, just being like, yeah. So why does your opinion suck so much that you think we're all wrong?
They're probably a core
Well,
gamer
to be
who's
fair,
gonna
just pit him against Neil. That'd be it. We'll just sit here.
Lose.
we want to thank Garrett Landry for the awesome logo. And this week, what are we drinking this week? What is it called?
This is
Lazy Magnolia.
Yes.
Southern
Lazy
Pecan.
Magnolia, Southern Pecan.
I've never heard of this, and I usually drink my beer a little bit lighter, but this is a really good dark beer, I think.
It's very sweet.
It's flavorful. It's
Yeah.
sweet and nutty and delicious.
Sounds like something you'd like.
Yes, exactly.
This is our review of this beer.
Like you said last week, it's beer.
Listen,
That's a
y'all are really
qualifier.
reaching for this, like, someone support us.
No, it's whatever. I'd never heard of this beer before. But it's good. It's a nice change. It's a little bit darker than I usually drink, but it's good. All right.
Once you go dark. I don't know.
Let's
My
go
kids-
So
dark.
Borderlands. Borderlands.
All right.
Borderlands.
So Borderlands 2. We've all been. Everybody's. Did you have it? Did you get it day one?
Oh yeah, I got it the day before it came out, but.
Excuse me.
Watch out.
They must have just been giving those PS3 copies away. That's why. So everybody but John Michael's playing on the Xbox, right?
Yeah,
That's good.
because I don't want to pay money to play things online.
So are you? I mean, but you're strictly playing it as a solo game.
What? No, I mean I know people who play online.
I'm saying you.
I
I'm
play.
not meaning to.
No. I can play by myself Like,
Right.
but I do
Nice
also.
one, Josh. That was a good
I
one.
do also play with other people.
I didn't mean it as a word.
Yeah, PS3. So obviously you're playing it by yourself.
Hey, I was just on the PlayStation Network, which that was
Trying
a
to download
disaster.
a demo. The demo worked out great.
So Borderlands 2. What class are we playing here?
I think we all decided that we're all playing as separate classes, which is awesome.
Michael talked about it last night, and he said all four of us. There are 4 different classes to play as, and actually, without even thinking about this beforehand, we're all 4 each one of those different classes.
And so what are you playing as, Andrew?
I'm the Gunzerker.
And why
I'm
is
the
that
tank.
awesome?
Because whenever I get angry at things, I press the left bumper or L1 on the PS3, and I pull out a second gun and run around and go cuckoo.
Wouldn't that be L2?
What? No.
Well, if
I mean,
the PS,
No,
no, it'd be L1 if it's in front.
It's L1.
I don't know, but it could be L2 on that because there would be
Oh, maybe.
PS3's always wrong.
Maybe
I don't know.
PS3
L1 is
L2, the back triggers on the Xbox would be R2 and L2 on the PlayStation.
right. I mean,
Yeah, but he's
So L2 is the
but it's
Super
not the
Mario.
same thing on
Super
PS3. It's
no,
like
I think mine's different.
they
I
change
think
it. They change it a lot. So like certain games when they do first-person shooters on PS3, they'll
Handicap,
flop the
I
buttons. And Josh, you're playing as
I'm a commando.
Commando, and why is the Commando awesome other than its bullshit turret?
I don't know because
Oh, you're right.
it's-
That's it. Okay, so John Michael, what are you playing as?
I'm playing as the assassin.
And why is that awesome?
I really like I think it's a versatile class because you can like shoot from afar as a sniper, or you can get up close with like really strong melee attacks.
See, here I was
And-
thinking the commando was a versatile class.
So at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a sniper. I'm like, I would stay out of combat, shoot from afar.
That's gonna be boring.
Yeah, after a while I was like, I'm done. So I have like a really awesome shotgun, and so I'll just run into the fray of battle, like basically go invisible, and like
No, it's really weird because everyone I know who's playing as an assassin so far has almost said the exact same thing as you. They're like, I'm gonna be this awesome sniper, and they're all like, but then I found this really cool shotgun, and I realized I could just run in, do shit tons of melee damage, and kill the hell out of
what I
everything.
do is like I can hit them with that shotgun. It doesn't quite kill them, which is perfect because I have an ability that if I kill them with a melee attack, I get health back,
Right.
and so it's great in that aspect.
So why wouldn't you go melee?
Right.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Right. And sniping's cool, but like I feel like it's hard to get good sniper rifles.
It
in the game.
is,
like
and-
really good, like ones that are like
you know-
so good to where like it would eliminate you, feeling like you could just run in with a shotgun and pull
Right,
someone.
and I do. I
instantly
mean, I've
beat
got
them
some
and things.
like skill points in like the sniping tree a little bit because like whenever I first get to an area, I will check it out with my
Yeah.
sniper rifle, take down a few enemies, but inevitably like they start swarming you. I mean, because
See, oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, I was saying that's interesting because like for me, like the reason that I picked the commando is because like I haven't. Now this would be another question. Like I didn't play the first Borderlands, and I think y'all 3 did.
Yes.
So I didn't
Andrew
know.
kind of did.
Yeah, I didn't know how much I was going to be doing single player versus multiplayer.
Right.
And so kind of like for my play style, and I knew it's going to be a difficult game, like that's why I picked the commando, because what I'll actually do is I'll go with a sniper rifle, clean it out, and then of course they start charging.
Right.
I throw down my turret, and then
Bullshit.
take a shotgun, and then clean it out.
Yeah.
And
And your turret's like 3 people, so you're good. You don't even need any co-op
I
partners.
mean, sometimes it just depends.
So Neil,
You're just mad because
I don't have a turret
because
to
you
throw
didn't
down.
pick the cheat character. You didn't pick the cheat character. for
Actually,
this game.
actually, I think that I picked the Siren because
It's a
she's
female.
right? She's
It's
a woman,
female.
and I just feel like she's still like I really like the Siren in the
Raise
first.
your hand if you were surprised that Neil picked the female siren.
No one.
well,
So
I gotta say this. It was kind of a toss-up for me, honestly, because I like the idea of her abilities.
Yeah.
And I haven't played with them personally, and so
yeah, the Siren. I mean, in the first game, the Siren was like completely broken and awesome because you could
Right.
phase walk through everything and just like run past and do all the missions. And it was really really cool. So I was like, oh, that was kind of fun. But they changed her up a lot. So I was like, well, I'm gonna see how she's. I didn't even read anything really about her or look at the skill tree before I played. But I picked her and realized that her main ability is she can like lift people up. Like what is it called in Mass Effect? Because that's the only actual game that I always think of.
Oh,
You can
yeah,
pick
the,
people up.
What is that move?
Yeah, we're not gonna sit here and talk
it
about
doesn't matter.
So
We're not
that
done.
move is awesome. Is it stasis? It might be.
It is.
Something like
No,
that.
stasis to stasis.
But it kind of like
actually
does
lift them up. I know
stasis
what you're
with
talking
that.
about,
Yeah, probably lift or something dumb.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you can do that. But the way I've done my skill tree is whenever I lift somebody up, it's like stealing like 10% of their health and giving it to everybody in your party, and it's also like taking away their health, and it just gives everyone someone they can shoot at, and it just does all these cool medic things. And you can also like across the map, for instance, like there's this mode, there's like an arena. They had it in the first game too, and when you die in the arena, you can go up to the top and kind of like shoot down at people below who are still trying to complete the waves of the arena. Well, normally with a person, all you can do is shoot up there. But with the siren, I can actually lift people up who are dead. Like people on my team, I can actually revive you from being up there. So I can just keep reviving people while I'm up there. So there's a lot of cool medic skills. Like, and if I shoot you, it also gives you health too. So I don't know. The siren was kind of fun because I never played medic in games because they're boring and dumb.
See, she sounds like she's kind of like the biggest support character.
Yeah, right. But she can still do like
exactly.
shit ton of damage. But it's more of I can play like support character, but not feel like I'm not doing anything.
I mean, I feel like as the assassin, I don't offer like so much in the line of like immediate support.
The Gunzerker can do. You can explain. Yeah.
I do. Well, but I was going to say whenever you lift people up in the air, like whenever you lift the boss, I Gunzerk and I usually pull out like a rocket launcher and a shotgun in the other hand. Yeah. I run up and I just hold the triggers down. Like if you hold the triggers down, there's the move you can unlock.
Are you using both triggers when you use both guns? Is that how it works?
Yeah, you use both triggers. Yep. So you just hold the triggers
I
down.
think there's actually an option to turn that off. Honestly,
really?
I was looking in the options menu. I think you can do just like a one trigger setting on that. Yeah, you would go look in the options menu.
I know. Like one of my friends when I would play.
The feeling of going,
I support the 2-button system.
Whenever I lift people up, he's a sniper, so that just gives him like he gets like headshots every time because it just like freezes that guy in that one spot in the air, and you can just shoot him. All those assholes with those big shields, you can easily get around them, and I can levitate them and stuff like that. And plus, since it's giving health to everyone, it's just really neat to be able to toss that guy up and be like, no one shoot that guy while it's giving everybody health.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know, I really enjoyed playing as that class, but the cool thing about the game that I've seen so far is that I feel like I would enjoy playing every class. Like everyone has something cool. Like the Gunzerker, what I was getting at earlier is they can actually eventually get an ability that gives everyone ammo. Like it just replies, replies to ammo. Yeah, and that's like really helpful sometimes, especially if you're sniping, because you can run out of ammo like super quick if you're running a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
But so in general, everyone good.
Yeah, I mean, I like it a lot. Like I hadn't played the first one, so for me it was like, well, everybody's gonna have it. Why not play it? I'd like something, I don't play online.
It's very I feel like it's a good social. Like I bought it mostly because it's that game where I can just go hang out with go hang out with Andrew, go hang out with some people I might not play, and they make it so easy to just jump.
Well, the other day, I mean, Evan, we were playing with Evan, the guy that DM'd our.
Evan's awesome. Did I play with Evan?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he hadn't gotten into Sanctuary yet, so he was going around and like collecting quests. And then we were, just gambling, waiting.
God, gambling! I don't want to talk about that.
I wasted so much money.
Oh, dude, I'll roll into town with several thousand. By the time I'm done, I'll have like $500.
I don't want a new weapon. Anytime I go to the slot machine, I want a new outfit.
Oh yeah, so I bought every outfit that you can buy from the vending machines now, and never get the same. I think I have 25 outfits
out of 88.
I know.
How do you buy outfits?
I never told. So Andrew's freaked out in the game. He's like, "Oh, look at these cool outfits to buy." So we never told him where you could buy them from. He's been asking all, and I'm still not gonna tell him. So that's really funny though to watch. But I've been buying I started another character the other night just randomly. I started Commando when I was playing with a lower level character, and I found that it was still fun to start the game over doing the same missions. Like I played some of those same missions multiple times with different people and still had fun, and it was just a whole different experience.
Because there's the one right when you get to Sanctuary, it's the 4. You kill the 4 assassins.
Oh, assassinate.
And I played that one by myself, and it was difficult, and I beat it.
I don't know if I did that mission.
We went back and played it with 4 people. And it was still fun. Like I was looking forward to going back to it, and that's a huge compliment.
So you never played Borderlands, right? What do you think it is that makes Borderlands so attractive to people? Like why are you having fun with the game? Like,
well,
what
to
is
me,
it really
I like it because it's I enjoy environments that are creative. So that's a huge
pause right there.
Okay.
That's actually one of the biggest improvements in Borderlands
2. Probably wouldn't like the first one, man.
Yeah, because
it's all kind of like the same.
Borderlands 1 is just very brown.
You fight skags and the same psycho guys 100 billion times in the first game.
Yeah.
And this game starts you out with no, we're gonna fight different enemies all the time.
Welcome to a snow zone, and I'm like, whoa.
Okay, so you think about exploring or like just?
I mean, I like the fact that there's never for some reason, and it seems bizarre. Like this game is never really dull to me. Like they add killing whenever, or shooting whenever you need it, but then there's stuff I can go do in town. And I think for me it's fun because you can play with other people and you can have fun with other people, but I can also go off on my own and play it. So I think I'll do it's the quest. It's to picking up the loot. There's always something new
it's
to
weird
find.
because the AI is not great at all in the
Right.
game. They do some cool things, but the AI isn't like super great. Like it's not like Halo's AI, right?
Oh, right,
but
sure,
it still has Halo's like what is it, 20, 15 seconds of fun. Like they hit it a lot, like really, really good, and you're like just having enough fun. Then it's like just that right amount of like no real action going on right there. Like there's a lot of that. The pacing in the game to me is like really, really neat, and the fact that you can jump around, it doesn't matter when you play.
Right.
And I don't know, like it's the animations of now, like it wasn't in the first game, but when you shoot the people, how they'll like limp and stuff if their health's low, like little things like that, or throwing shit at you because that wasn't in the first game, and that just happens right off the top.
There's the one that if you shoot his head off, he starts raging.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Goliaths.
And then he can kill people, and then levels him up.
Right.
And
Yeah.
That's what a great addition.
Or they have those guys that steal the guns and weapons from you too in the arena. They will steal your
like
weapons.
the rats.
There was one in the arena.
That is
a little
complete shit.
or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
I think another thing I like is that I really feel like I'm a badass in this game. Like for
Yeah.
some reason, I just feel like I'm a badass.
And I think that extends to every class, which is
yes,
really
exactly.
weird. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's every time I go like use my deception skill.
Yeah.
I'm like, everyone's gonna die now. You suck.
What does deception skill do?
That's basically I send out a decoy assassin.
Oh yeah.
And they focus on him while I
disappear. Right?
I disappear. I'm like gone. And at that point, I
Do
can
you do more damage?
I do actually.
Oh, okay,
when I'm in deception, I do increased damage from melee and slightly less for gun attacks. And I can increase that through skills also.
Yeah.
There's also a skill that I don't have it yet because I'm not in that tree. But after like my time runs out with the deception skill, it can blow up the decoy and does damage to everyone in the area.
I think that the tree thing is really interesting to me because like all of them sound interesting. Like they're all like you're like shit. And if I read that if you max out your character, you can really only go one tree.
Half enough.
Right.
You can go one. Like,
Is it
like
is it one and a half? Okay, I thought it was just one.
I don't know. I think it's one, and then I think you have like maybe about 6 skill points.
But the
left
game is so lenient on letting you respec if you want to respec. So you feel like you're committed, but like because you're working towards something, but you don't. You can always switch it, and I feel like that's really, really neat. Because I feel like I could replay it, or not replay it, but like reuse that same character as a different spec, and be really cool. Because when I was looking at Commando, you can do 2 turrets when you get to the end, which is complete bullshit.
Or you can do 1 turret with 2 guns.
Right, with 2 guns, or you can do the turret that just makes a nuke when you drop it, and it's just like what?
Well, see,
like
so basically, you get to have a
the,
constructor, which is the worst enemy
I'm
in the game,
doing
and I hate it so
I'm
much.
doing the gorilla, which is the far left heuristic grade one. This is one with the 1 turret with 2 guns. Just because I like what you get
all the way down
more
there
as you progress that. I think another thing that has impressed me, and there's not a lot of games that do this well, is how funny the game is.
I think I say,
and
wait,
God,
and it's funny,
the game is.
funny in that like there is potty humor, but like, and I don't usually like that at all on games. Like, that usually turns me off. Like, there are some other games that do that. I'm like, this is kind of cheesy. But like the guy who writes the game, I can't believe I'm dying. I can't remember his name right now. I used to watch him and his sister did Destructoid videos. His sister's named Ashley Davis. She's like a cartoonist and stuff too, and she's the one who does the voice for Tiny Tina in the game. And like, she's also really funny. And he wrote the majority of Borderlands 2. And he talked about like what they learned from Borderlands 1, like how they wanted to do this. And he talked about, I listened to him on a podcast, how he knows that a lot of people aren't even going to hear the writing because they've been playing with their friends and not paying attention. But he wanted it to be still funny and still engaging and make characters so good to where when you were doing quests, you felt like you weren't just doing fetch quest every time. Like it was something different.
No,
I feel like they did a really good job. Because even the quests are stupid. Like the ridiculous, utterly dumb things you do.
Like, go kill this thing and I'm going to change its name. We're going to change its name.
That was a really funny.
or like the references like the Ninja Turtles in the game. And
Yes,
stuff like
that was
I was like they will go to
quests.
things you just don't even know. And I won't even want to spoil for you, but they have like Minecraft stuff. They have all types of things. So I'm just like,
Snow White in there.
yeah, I'm just blown away by how much they were able to put in the game, and I feel like there's just so much to the game. Because you're level what?
I
Josh?
actually got to level
John Michael Carly?
32 today.
32. Jesus.
Yeah.
You're Andrew. You're level
19.
I think
Josh.
it's still like a 13 or something.
Yeah, and I'm at level 20-ish around that time. And I was just like, there's so much more to that game. Like, I have friends who beat it who are only like level 35. I have friends who beat it who are like way off. Do you know how many chapters there are in that game?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know I'm pretty far in. I think I still got a good ways to go.
In writing, what's the main villain's name?
Handsome
I
Jack.
was going to specifically
What?
mention
Handsome Jack is like
his writing's
making a
good,
villain.
but the guy who does his voice is phenomenal.
Yes.
The delivery of all of that is just like
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's probably some of the best voice acting
I just want to play this
I've
game
heard
sometime.
in a video game or just period.
It's funny though because like the way he's a villain, it reminds me of like GLaDOS and stuff and like Borderlands and things like that. Like the way he's always there, like just commenting randomly about dumb crap, and it's just always funny to me. Like I was.
It is, but it's he does this phenomenal job where it's like it's funny, but it's also insanely cruel.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you pull those audio logs and he's like
blasting
murdering,
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
And it's people actually, if you played the first game, that you even know, like you ran into. So it's like, you know,
yeah,
like
dude, like he's like they did a. That's just the writing and the guy that does his voice is just a combination of success there. I think.
Also, as far as writing goes, like the story in this one,
Well,
I
the fact
actually,
that there is a story?
I actually
about to say,
care about it.
Yeah.
Like I mean, there's some serious spoilers.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, I would say don't
but-
let's not talk about much. Any
No,
of that.
I won't.
I'll
But
kill you.
I will say that like it's.
I'll punch you. If it's a
I'm not
spoiler.
gonna. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm not that
But
guy.
spoiler.
Yeah,
But this game, I didn't realize how invested I was in like different parts.
Well,
and
just the
characters
basis
and,
of what people know about just the general idea of getting characters from the first game and meeting them at all and making them actual characters instead of just four faceless
I
people
know,
that
like-
had no point in the first game.
And anytime,
That's really
like,
interesting.
I get
they had to
excited
write
when I see
dialogue for
them.
those people. Like,
Yeah.
those people had no dialogue other than like, yeah, headshot, awesome. In the first game. That's all they really said.
and it's
And I think we should definitely say about how addicting the whole loot part is of the games.
It is because like, and we were talking about this because you were asking us like I don't play Diablo, I don't play a lot of just not because I'm prone or against them. I just have never really sat down and played them, and like the loot thing has just never been an attractive element to me. But
It hits that part of your
maybe
brain.
it is because I haven't played it. But like,
But your
this-
brain's like, nope.
But this
like,
is I'm like $2,
crap,
$4, $3. Yes, it's like $2.
Oh, no, or you're just
Dude,
like
it
you're
is.
like, or like, how often do you anally go and check all those shops where you're just like,
Oh,
let me
yeah,
just
dude,
let
every
me just
time.
go see.
or anytime you find like a big like doll crate or something like that, and it just slowly opens, you're like, ooh, I hope there's a blue in there. I hope it's a blue.
Or you're like, or you get so attached to a weapon that
Yeah.
you know in like 3 levels is going to be completely pointless to you.
Yeah.
Like, or like
So,
the next big battle, you're like, I don't need this
like
shit
in
anymore.
reference to that, I had for the longest time I had this shotgun I loved so much. It shot explosive rounds,
Yeah.
and I would
Dude.
tear people up with it. And I finally found this other shotgun. Statistically, it was much
Right,
better.
and it's not even-
I was
yeah.
like, I don't know if I can get rid of my other one.
Dude,
Like,
I did that
that's
all the
something
time.
That's why Gunzark. I'll pull out 2 times. Blah, 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 blah.
And that's
Have all my
something
friends
that
with me.
like, and it's because I was reading a review and one of the comments the guy made in the review, I don't remember where I read it, was he's like, I don't know anything about like gun manufacturers in real life. Like, in Borderlands 2, I have my preferences,
Yeah.
and if that's the one negative thing that I would say about the game is that like what I like to do, like my play style is I guess I'm kind of old fashioned. The guns that I like is like I want a gun with like bullets, ammo, whatever. Like I'm not a big like elemental kind of thing like that. And I feel like this game
It's
very
unfortunate
much.
the game wants you
That's what I'm saying. The game kind of weighs in that favor, but like that's not like. I mean,
but for your
that's not
class,
like a
it
big-
doesn't. It doesn't because you can still do some damage, but there are. But it's better for game design that
Yes.
now.
I agree.
Yeah, now you have like.
Dude.
Well,
That's not
I
something
have
would
this.
Count, that's not something I
right.
would count against.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
game.
I see what
I'm
you're
just
saying.
for me.
When
I
they're,
have
like-
I have like a pistol that I got out of the chest because I opened the damn chest because of the way they put it in the game to where I didn't know that I was not supposed to open the chest with a key.
chest.
But I got a really awesome pistol that like the front part of it revolves a lot,
Right.
and I can shoot like these really high flame bullets like every time I shoot, and it's like an 80% chance of igniting you, so it like always sets people on fire. And I completely forgot where I was going with this, but
you just wanted to talk
something
about your awesome
what were we
gun.
talking about? Oh, game manufacturers and guns.
Guns.
What the
Yeah.
heck? How were we
Awesome
talking
gun.
about?
Anyway,
Yeah.
anytime
Brain just
it's
fried.
like anytime I don't know. I lost
Game
it
is
too.
awesome.
But I think it's,
New point. So what's cool about like enemy type? I can't talk anymore.
Oh wait, no, I really remember. What I liked about it is that I had that cool fire weapon and I kept using it all the time. And then I ran into those assholes who they're like immune to fire and it just pops up on
yeah,
the screen and it's like
dudes.
your gun is pointless. It doesn't matter anymore. And it was like oh well, that's cool. Now I have an excuse to use another gun.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it makes you use other
well,
guns.
that you were talking about like getting attached. Like one of the first weapons that I had like was a Jacobs fast revolver.
Oh yeah.
And, like if it's a Jacobs gun, I'm gonna lean more towards it. Just
I
'cause of the
agree.
style.
Yeah. I just
But like I have a sniper that's a Jacobs right now, dude. Just one headshot and they're done. But like for me, like it was my primary weapon. I mean, like, I had a better shotgun and all this stuff. That was my primary weapon. And I finally got to the point where I was like, I'll probably have to sell this thing. And that's another thing is like picking up guns that I know I'm not going to use, so I can sell them for loot.
Yeah. Sure. And even when I pick them up, I'm like, I wonder if I'm going to use this. I might use this, and I'll go to the vendor. I'm like, I don't want to sell this yet. I might use it. I know very well I'm not going to use this ever because I already have my guns that I want.
I have 3 mods sitting in my inventory, like 3 different classes.
Yeah, I have
in case
I don't know which one I want to switch.
Well, and because I played with people who are higher level, I have a couple of mods that I can't use for like another 3 levels.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
am
I even gonna need them? Am I gonna find something cooler than that? And there's like always that the mod thing is like insane. How different every stupid little mod is to where you're like, oh well, do I want to just have this bonus 3 to certain certain attribute points, or do I want to have like 200 more shield or 200 more health? Like or there's one that's like it regenerates a certain percentage of everyone's downtime of their special and stuff like that. Like there's so many different things you can do there, and then there's the badass rank thing. Which is like this other level of amazingly awesome that I just found out how awesome it was when I started my other character and could see how much better my character was because I had like like a 1200 badass rank or whatever. Right. And you can do that like infinity. There's like a billion different stats you can increase there.
Yeah, no, like, and that's the only thing I like is like you got a badass for this, you got a badass for this, you got a. I think that's cool because I'm like, ooh, cool. I don't even know what I did, but that's great. That's cool, right? Like, and it just one of the first things as soon as you start. Like I was playing, like I didn't even get to like I think I had just found Claptrap, and like I was playing. I got to like the first little area, and I was just like, I want everything this game has to offer me. Yeah. Like I just like I want to soak this in.
And I'm doing every optional everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And just in general, like I was talking to a friend about when he started last night about why I felt he said something just felt good about the game. I just think their control scheme that's blatantly like ripped from like Halo. But like it feels right, like that jump that's like a slight bit floating, but like it feels right, or the no fall damage, which feels perfect.
Oh yeah,
that's the first thing I was like.
Anytime you play a game, any game, even if it's a first-person shooter, third-person shooter, like you're always, I always jump because I'm like, is this going to hurt me? I need to know going forward.
But the control, like everything, just feels right. Like when you snipe someone, it feels right. When you use a shotgun, it sounds right. Like everything it just feels really solid.
And one of the things I was talking to my brother about it because he's been playing on a PC and the first one was like one of his favorite games. And I was saying one of the things that I like about the sniper rifles, like in a game like Battlefield, like I had a shotgun, like that was my thing. Because I wouldn't snipe, because the snipers you had to level them up, but it was like it was really realistic in the recoil and that's cool. But like for me, I'm like that's not really my play style. So I like in this game, it's suiting the game style that it's a little bit toned down. I have to worry about like, well, if I pop this and this is it's just straight.
Yeah. And it's so, and then there's a sniper rifle that would be like automatic fire. You can just keep shooting with it, or like I have a rifle that shoots rockets instead of bullets, and that's awesome. Yeah. Like, and when we were talking about guns, one of the things I was thinking about, and you were talking about the different manufacturers and stuff, but I like how all the guns I've had have looked different, and that's like really hard to do.
And it's not even like barely looking.
No, like
they're all
I was like, it doesn't just look like
unique.
they change the color of the skin. Like the games, I mean, the guns really look different. I'm like that, and they feel different. Like I got a gun that you can actually get from a person in the game that's like a vibrator, and it like vibrates as you shoot it more and things like that. And I don't know, there's just a lot of different guns in the game.
And it's impressive that like I could pick up a gun like, oh, this is a Jacobs, oh, this is a Hyperion, like without even having to check it. Like that's just impressive. That
this is really good art design.
And just TDR guns that whenever you reload, you just
throw them in
and it explodes like
I have a really good shotgun that does that, and I love that every time.
Dude,
and grenade. Wait, so grenades. Grenades. So Andrew has this amazing story about one of his friends' grenades, but
so a friend of mine who he beat the game already. He's like he was a level 35 when he got it. I don't know if anyone listening will really appreciate this, but you guys will. The grenade does 10,000 damage times 9. So when it explodes, it does 10,000. It does 10,000 initially, then it spawns 9 child grenades, and they all do 10,000. So he's just cleaning a room out. Yes, he's running through the game the second time, just throwing the grenade at bosses and just cleaning out.
Because we were.
And he's a gunzerker too. So whenever he's gunzerking, he throws. Whenever you have an ability you unlock when you throw a grenade, it throws the second one. It doesn't take the second one out of your inventory.
Oh my god!
So he can actually he had up to 8. So when he's gunzerking, he has 16 of those grenades, and it's ridiculous. And this guy online offered him $99 million to buy his grenade, and he was like, "No, I'm keeping this grenade."
There's just, and that's the thing, like, there's just, like, you look at your guns, and you're like, it's weird how, like, you're like, oh, this 60 times 2 is awesome. This is so much damage. And you look at someone else's gun who's higher, and it's like, 10,000 times 5 or something.
My shotgun's like 165 times 16
or,
right now.
Or one of our friends used to work with us, Eric. He had a sniper rifle that didn't have a scope, like you couldn't zoom in all the way on it, but it did 1,600 damage, like every time he shot someone.
I had one that had like an iron sight on it.
Yeah. He's like, what the hell is this garbage? But he's like, oh wait, it does 1,600 damage. You just keep popping bosses with it.
Yeah, I mean that was.
And the
I
bosses
had a sniper
too.
rifle, like I would shoot, but whenever they got up to me, I didn't have to switch it out. I was just pop, and then I could still shoot with it. Just not.
Or how guns will do like 70% more melee damage, like random, like
if they're bladed or something.
Yeah, it's like God, they just do so many things right in that game. Like that's the thing. There are so many like game decisions where they could have went this way or that way, and they're like, correct way. We're gonna
enemy
do that.
types, like when those Hyperion robots show up. I was like, well, I can't do a headshot now, but I can start blowing off limbs.
Flying craft that shoot me.
Or throw a turret.
Turrets are good for taking
and I just think just it's not easy to make a game that's cooperative and everybody feels like they can all benefit and do something like like you said, like be badass. But like I'm glad that they didn't like, hey, let's make a multiplayer like deathmatch game and stuff like that. Like this is obviously a co-op game where the whole thing was designed around you just playing with your friends, making it easy playing with your friends, making it easy to jump in the games, making it easy to level up if you're a lower level, playing with some higher level people if you haven't got to play in a while. There's just so many things that like encourage people to like trade weapons or not trade weapons and throw them off of a cliff if you don't like them.
That's an issue, right?
Or things like that. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of cool things like that. And I like the whole, what is the material in the game called that I can't remember? Iridium. I like the whole how you can trade that in for stuff. And
I like how everyone shares it too.
Yeah.
I like that too. It kind of keeps the bickering down, I find.
Yeah.
Unless you're me and you're like, oh, you really want this new Assassin's game? I'm sorry, I dropped it off the cliff.
Like, whenever you're playing with 4 people, the loot is better stats, but you don't get more loot.
But you play with Neil, and he just takes everything.
Yeah, you're still stuck with 2 guns showing up in this chest. They're just better guns, but there's 2 guns, and now there are 4 people you have to share. But like,
and I think that's a. I know some people are like, well, I wish it was just for you, but like I think it's fun to have.
No,
that, like,
there's got to have some level of competitiveness.
Take
like,
that
because you are working together, but it's that still like you're competing at the same time, like.
And the whole trade.
And I feel like the save system's pretty fair. Like I never felt like I had to go repeat this whole horrible thing. The missions are all. Some of them I do feel like, if that was my only complaint, some of the missions are actually a little long. Like for me to feel like I did this whole mission, like I couldn't feel like I could go sit down and play Borderlands for 30 minutes and at least go play a mission with Andrew or something like that. Like if I wanted to do it, I feel like they're a little bit longer than just a sit down session. Like you have to set aside like, okay, at least these 2 hours I'm gonna go play Borderlands right now. But other than that, I feel like everything is pretty balanced.
I think one of the things that I really, really liked was how flawlessly they integrate the first-person shooter genre and then the RPG genre.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's very easy to make a game like this and say, Mass Effect 2, and say, oh, it's an RPG because you can put a few stats. I love Mass Effect 2. You can put a few stats. Like in this game, it's a first-person shooter. It plays like a first-person shooter, but I genuinely feel like I could make a different character should I should I choose to do so. And that's just. And then you were talking about Neil. You were talking about how rewarding it was just to see those little numbers fly off of people.
So
I don't know why. But
and every time you get a new gun too, you're just like, oh, I can't wait to see these. And every time you pop them, and it's like this or critical hit, and you see them, you're like, wow, I'm awesome. The game just consistently rewards you and tells you you are amazing. You are amazing. Everything you're doing is awesome.
A lot of just positive reinforcement.
The whole game, like literally, the whole game is just positive reinforcement. There's no like negative. Like
it's like a Tootsie Pop.
Even dying is like, oh, you lose some of your money, but you respawn relatively fast.
And whenever you respawn, it's always like something funny is.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's like when I was going through the Assassin's mission, I had to respawn several times, but like the respawn, it was a respawn point assassin, the next assassin, and then I kill the first one, go to the second one. But when I respawned, I didn't have to go through all the stuff over again. I just had to walk up to that point, and I was right back to where I was, and that's insanely convenient.
And I'm not sure if we mentioned it, but I do feel like one of the things that wasn't in the first game is you had no customization for the way your character looked, like zero at all.
Yes.
And that's really added a lot to this game for me, because I'm always super into that stupid shit.
I would say, though,
too.
See, like, not playing the first game, I thought, like, obviously it's an improvement for the first game, but just coming into this thing cold, I was let down by how little I could customize my character.
Yeah, but I feel I agree that like it would be cooler if it was like a really crazy customization character thing.
Well,
but
I was setting out to make a Walter White commando.
Oh, well,
Alright, and
but it's like it's one of those things where you are playing as these specific people,
right, and I noticed that, and now that does make more sense to me the way they're doing that.
Right.
But I like the way.
Well, I mean, once I got into the game and I kind of started to understand that more, I got it. But at the same time, like I still wish that there was like
it's not like you're not playing as
cool
like
stuff. Like
it's
cool.
not a personalization kind of character. You're not.
Yeah.
It's not like Fallout. Like you can be like you.
right.
So you're basically playing as this character, and you can customize that character as you see fit. With I guess within these options.
Yeah, but his dwarven gunzerker has dreads. So.
No, it had dreads, and then I unlocked a green outfit and a bowler hat. So I look like a leprechaun.
That's true, because mine was just mine was just some like Asian chopstick in the hair with an pirate eye patch. So it's pretty awesome.
See, I just have like the old like he's bald. My commando's bald with like the big beard. I named him Heisenberg.
My commando has like a Killzone mask, a little Helgen mask. I don't know where I unlocked that from, but it was pretty awesome. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I'm purple, so.
That's okay.
Can you throw that in there?
Can you change your heads?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of cool different heads.
Okay, I was wondering because I always.
I don't have his like stereotypical like his standard whatever.
Yeah, regular
thing.
Generic.
I've got like his cool like biker like ninja from Mortal Kombat mask going on.
Sounds pretty
like
awesome.
That's cool.
It is pretty cool.
But yeah, overall, I just Borderlands is a phenomenal game on all the platforms you can play it on now. Like, if you have the PC port, it's supposed to be really, really, really good.
Yeah.
The Xbox one's really good. The PS3 port is at least there. So I mean,
you
it's,
can at least play it by yourself.
yeah. And if you have PlayStation Plus, like Borderlands is free right now for this month still. So I mean, the first one. So if you don't really know, like at least that's a good jumping point. And I still think Borderlands is a fun game if you play it with some friends, even if you don't want Borderlands 2 yet. But it's definitely not necessary to enjoy Borderlands 2.
No, not at all.
So
No, I mean, like I said, I never played it. I don't feel lost
Compelled.
or I'm lacking or anything like that.
We keep selling out, honestly.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, the first one's what, like, I mean, you can get it for $30 with all the extra content. $20.
Oh, yeah, the game.
Yeah, and I'm still not sure if I'm gonna get the season pass, but like if I see the first DLC is even decent, I'd probably just get the season pass since you basically get one of them, one of the DLCs for free. But they also talked about they're gonna have other DLC that's not part of the season pass, so it's like hit or miss. I'm excited for the new class though.
The Necromancer, yeah.
October 16th.
Yeah, just because that's a hot name.
Dude, but by the time everyone's gonna be that character, just because.
Yeah,
the new, like,
and then you'll be the most
N64
BS
Necromancer.
team because that character is supposed to be way overpowered. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks ridiculous.
So yeah, buy Borderlands 2. It's awesome.
Yeah, if you haven't,
we
what's wrong
would
with you?
all agree that it's I mean, is there anything
must
like?
buy.
Is there anything,
Yes.
Andrew, that you would say that? I mean, we've talked. I mean, we could sit. This is like I said. This is the kind of game where like
We all agree on pretty much everything
Right.
about it. Like,
what,
how
I mean,
much...
is there anything about the game that you're that you're kind of disappointed in?
Like you said, the customization that you can't like go through personally do it, but I don't have a problem with that because I'm also addicted to unlocking new skins and I'm always excited about that. One thing that I mean, it's part of the game, but it kind of pisses me off sometimes. Like, you find an awesome gun, and literally 5 minutes later, you don't need it anymore. Like, I don't know. I just there's so many awesome guns in this game that I don't know. Like, you're constantly updating, and then it almost makes it pointless because the enemies just get so insanely hard.
Yeah.
That I don't know. It's just like.
I mean, it's one of those things. The enemies get really hard,
They get
and it's one of those things where it's a fair challenge, though. I think, like, it is possible for you to win.
Right.
I never felt like, oh, I keep dying. Like, there's no way. I'm just gonna have to like leave and come back and do it later or something like that.
Badass gun, we kill people one shot, and then 5 minutes later, you're fighting dudes like 5 levels more than you, and then you're screwed. You're like, God.
Yeah.
But you find so many guns.
You do. You find a lot of guns, but. Other than that, no, man, it's a fantastic game, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
Would
all the way.
Would y'all say that there's anything about the game that just that you don't really like?
Say that you're playing on the PS3.
I have no problem playing on the PS3 because it's not the Xbox.
Nice.
If only it was Nintendo 64.
I know, right? It would be way better.
Yeah.
What don't you like about the game, Neil?
I really think the game is, like, for what it's trying to be, there's not a lot wrong with it. Like, I feel
That's
like it does what it was trying to do really good and doesn't really make too many missteps. Like, I feel like it's really good. And I haven't even played like a third of the game yet. Like, it's there's a lot there. and I feel like it's set up in a way. Borderlands 1 wasn't set up to add DLC. They did that after the fact because they're like, holy crap, this is selling a lot. People want more content. This game is made to be like, oh no, we're going to give you more stuff.
Yeah.
They can raise the level cap more. They can add in more things. And to me, there's just so many things they can do with adding new areas, adding new missions. They talked about adding new vehicle types. They talked about different character classes beside the Necromancer. And there's just so many options I feel like they could do that would just make me really interested in the game. They could just add 100 new stupid skins, and I'd be like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Literally. And I mean, so I'm really impressed by the game. In fact, it's probably going to be hard for that not to be one of my games of the year, because the game is just really solid. And I mean, since everyone else is pushed to March or February next year, so
I feel like there's a lot of I feel like the longevity of this game.
Oh yeah,
I'm definitely not there are a lot of games I'm going to trade this shit in, or get rid of it. There's no reason for you to trade in Borderlands 2.
No,
there's no reason for me to trade in Borderlands when I buy it.
People come in and first of all, they're asking for a used copy of it, and it just came out first of all, and but. Honestly, who would trade that in? Who would buy this and be like, I don't want to play this?
PS3
The Wall
owners.
Street Journal.
Yeah.
The Wall Street Journal, yeah.
Someone go read that Wall Street Journal review again. It's really excellent.
Or another thing that I kind of find annoying, you'll spend $1,500 on an awesome gun you find in the store, and you go on your next quest, and you open a chest, and there's one 5 times better than one you just spent.
That's why you don't
I never buy
those days. Those guns are just there to piss you off. That's what these guns are there for.
Never buy weapons.
It works. It pisses me off. So.
Yeah, no.
But overall, I think we'd all safely very much recommend it.
And I'll be playing this game for on and off for a good long damn time. Because I don't have no problem restarting characters, no problem redoing missions, and no problem playing with anyone.
Because
and the fact that it still has couch co-op.
Right,
which is really awesome, because no game really does that, and it still looks the same. It doesn't look like shit. Yeah, it's that's really, really awesome to me that you can get this game and go play. If you're in college and you have someone you can go play with, or a significant other, or just a friend that you can play with. There's a legitimate game there that you can play and go all the way through and have a lot of value for your $60. It's not a lot of games that provide a lot of time value for $60.
I definitely think it's a good ratio.
Content.
Oh yeah,
and just fun.
Definitely feel like I got my money's worth.
Yeah, I got this game to carry me over until Halo 4.
Yeah,
but
there's no reason to go back.
It's definitely carry me over, but it's going to overlap.
And like I said, I don't mind giving them money for DLC because I definitely don't feel like I got gypped out of content.
Right, I think.
I feel like I would definitely give you another $20-$30 for your DLC, because it's if it's just more of this awesome stuff,
you're funny,
I'm okay with that.
Exactly.
Keep making funny stuff. That's fine with me. I don't care. Take your time.
So, all right. We definitely recommend it if you're on the fence about it. Like I said, let me say, I didn't play the first one, and I am having no problems adjusting to this game. It's fun. So if you're on the fence, definitely look into it. All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, throw down. All right, guys.
This ain't no place for no hero. This ain't no place for no better man.
Alright, welcome back from the break. In case you didn't listen or you skipped ahead, go buy Borderlands 2
In case you
and play
happen to
it.
skip forward to this exact minute.
Yep, let's just talk about Borderlands again.
Hey, I'm going to put the time code in there so they can.
We're just going to recap what we talked about on Borderlands.
Just kidding. Yeah, we're going to totally talk about Borderlands again. So we were talking about the loot system. No. Alright, so last week maybe? I think it was last week. Neil made the statement. I don't know, what was your statement?
I don't even know what you're talking about. Probably some fabricated bullshit statement that you're making up.
It's something to the effect. Okay, we were talking about what systems we liked. I think it started with Banjo-Kazooie and so on and so forth.
I said Banjo-Kazooie sucks. And I would also say that I think I started out by saying that if I was going through all the Nintendo's successful big systems that are popular, that the 64 wouldn't be on my favorite list. Is what I said. Quote.
I do believe.
Quote.
So off the record, you haven't called it stupid, boring, so on and so forth.
I loved my 64 when I had it, and someone stole one, but I don't hate the 64 now.
All right, well, tell us. Let's go down your notes list here.
Oh no! You can talk about. I mean, I have good things about the 64. I'm not all negative about the 64. I know you thought of it, man. I don't hate it.
I'm only going by what you said.
Yeah, no, I just don't think it is I think that it looks like shit when you go back and play those games. That the controller is stupid. That it works for a certain some of the core Nintendo games and a few of the third-party games, but that's what Nintendo typically does. Some of the same stuff with their GameCube, where the controller was just borked and didn't really work for some games. But I mean, I think if, for instance, going back in the time machine to when that system came out, I got one because Mario and I saw pictures of Zelda and was like, this is gonna be awesome. You know, I bought one. Really liked Mario. Really liked Wave Race. Played Wave Race a lot. And then I grew up and got a PlayStation, and that's pretty much what I did. And I played my PS1 because it had actual games on it and not 6 things that I passively enjoyed.
See, all right, well, that's great. Fantastic place to start, because I had a PlayStation as well.
Yeah. Did you have that demo with Parappa the Rapper on it?
Oh yeah, dude.
And
I
Armored
did.
Core?
I'll tell you what I played. I played a lot of...
The demo was better than most 64 games.
Oh my gosh.
False.
Blast Core, man.
Blast Core is awesome. I'm not even no sarcasm. Blast Core is like one of my favorite games from that whole era. I have no idea why someone hasn't just remade that game for some reason.
And we can all take turns here, but like for me, like I agree. Like if we were,
do you have like a top 3 64 games?
My top 3 64 games.
Yeah, that isn't Zelda or Mario.
That's not Ocarina.
Yeah, that isn't Zelda or Mario related.
Hold on, it's a whole. I mean, yes, we can do that, but we can play that game.
Okay.
But why would you want to remove those 2 games from the 64 to have this conversation? Because I think the existence of those games is very important.
Oh, I just think it's redundant for us to say. I mean, like, I would say that Mario 64 and Zelda are some of the best games.
No, I agree.
Made, period, especially at the time. So I'm just saying, for the sake of not talking about how awesome Mario and Zelda are.
Right, but you were saying that
the PlayStation has way more better.
Has way better games, and if you're talking about the catalog of games, to say, well, what's a good catalog of games? But you can't include Mario and Zelda.
Oh, no. You can include that. I'm just saying for the sake of this argument. I still think even if you have Mario and Zelda, but Sony still has better games. But that's...
But you know what? I would probably, in retrospect, agree with you that if you sat down and picked up all the games that still hold water to this day...
You can even hold all the PlayStation games. You could probably hold the 64 games in your hand.
But like, I agree that there's a lot of games... the games that I'm more interested in going back and playing,
but there are better games on the PlayStation. There are better games. That's what you want to say.
Some of them are better, but for me though, okay, Nintendo 64, GoldenEye, first-person shooters, Perfect Dark.
First time it was 4 players on a console.
Yeah, I mean multiplayer through the roof.
I will say this is not even hating on the 64. This is one of my favorite things about it, and I feel like they grew on this with the Wii. But having 4 players in one room playing a game was something that you could do on other systems. With a multi-tap on the PS2 for the few games that supported it, like Time Splitters or something.
Yeah, the splitter on the NES for that thing.
Yeah, or but the 64 was built with this concept in mind of having 4 people playing on one system, and to me that changed how I played video games at the time. And I had parties at my house having 4 people over playing GoldenEye, or we played Wave Race, or we played Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is better than all those other games I just mentioned. And so many fun or those stupid games made by Aki, the wrestling games, which were amazing on the 64.
Dude.
And I hate wrestling.
Revenge.
Hate wrestling.
THQ.
What was after Revenge? Was it No Mercy, the WWF game?
They had WCW versus NWO World Tour, WCW NWO Revenge. WWF WrestleMania 2000, WWF No Mercy was all the same team out of Japan that made it. Yeah. Well, it was a small studio in Japan. They also made a Japanese one.
But I felt like I love Revenge, and I felt like No Mercy kind of...
Only good wrestling games that have ever been made are those games because they're fast.
I think
they're
all
4-player. They are amazing, and they were better on there than they were on PlayStation. And it was because of that 4-player element. I agree that was the thing that I was so surprised that I enjoyed it. But it was part of that multiplayer.
Well, and here's another thing I would give me personally Nintendo 64s. I don't like flight simulation games. I'm not having anything against them. Just me personally, I don't really care for them. But the two flight airplane games that I will play, Star Fox and Rogue Squadron, Nintendo 64.
Interesting, those would be flight simulation games, right?
I wouldn't really call those simulation games.
Games where you fly.
I misspoke. I don't like games where I fly around and I shoot.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. Like Star Fox or
whatever.
Galaga, come on, man.
I like Galaga. I'm just saying.
I don't like games like Galaga.
I like Galaga, but I like Galaga. I'm saying let's remove that. I'm talking about there's just Pilot Wings. I don't really like Pilot Wings. It just doesn't.
You might really like Pilot Wings.
I love Pilot Wings on Super Nintendo.
Giant robot.
Wait, I love Pilot Wings on Super Nintendo. I did not like Pilot Wings on 64 or any other platform thereafter.
But I'm just saying, I don't like games where even in Diddy Kong Racing when you're flying around.
Well, you know what's weird?
I'm like, give me back.
You know what's weird about the 64? Like, I'm not big into racing games, but now when I look back on the 64, I was like, wait, why did I like Beetle Adventure Racing or
the original San Francisco Rush?
Right, or Cruising USA.
Cruising USA.
I played an insane amount of Cruising USA, and it was like these arcade ports at the time. Like, but just think about the racing games I like.
Lego Racers.
Yeah.
They're all the same game.
Yeah, or even what was
Star Wars
the,
Episode 1.
Yeah, Star Wars
Pod
Episode
Racer.
1.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was the best thing about Episode 1 was that pod racing game.
How about Shadows of the Empire, Neil?
I like that game.
Yeah,
that game
I
is
know.
garbage, and I
It was
love that
garbage.
game.
It
Yeah.
was garbage when I played it.
Yeah.
I knew it was.
And it was
garbage,
still
but
fun.
was still- but
I
it's
played
still
over and over. You
addictive.
could
It's
like be a
addictive.
Wookiee and stuff.
Well, I guess what would you say in defense of the? Well, let's go back to this because I misspoke earlier. What would you call like Star Fox First Squadron? What would you classify that as? I know it's not a flight simulation game.
Arcade.
Arcade flying.
Shooting flying game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big
That's a
fan,
new
but-
genre. Arcade shooting flying games.
Yeah.
Neil just invented
All right. So what would you say?
It
in
really is
favor-
like just
What
like
would you say in
Galago's.
favor of Nintendo 64?
in favor. Oh God, I don't know. I faked sick so I didn't have to go to school, so I could stay home and play my Nintendo 64. It's. I guess it had the biggest impact on my childhood besides Galaga. If it had Galaga, it would be the best.
Did you just say that the Nintendo 64 had the biggest impact
Because
on
I
your
grew
child-
up with
Were
it.
you 15?
I grew up with it. Yes, because I never had a PlayStation.
God.
I never had a PlayStation. Never had a GameCube. Never had. What else was there?
I saw some picture of some girl on Twitter who was all like, "Oh, I really love playing the old Mario," and she was playing Mario 64, and I just wanted to punch a hole through the screen.
Oh God,
Yeah.
that game though, so good.
I think one of the things about the Nintendo 64 is, like, I agree. Graphically, it does not hold up.
Well,
No.
not
But the
now it
PS1
doesn't, but
does.
back
Well, no.
then. But when it
Whoa,
came
whoa.
out,
Wrong. Continue.
it
Oh,
doesn't.
hold on,
now,
hold
but
on,
back
hold on,
then
hold
it
on.
looked
The
amazing.
PS1 still holds up to me.
Okay,
Like, there are games.
let-
There are games on the PS1
well-
that still hold up.
Yes,
Shitty 3D games from that era. None of them hold up.
Okay, thank you.
But
That's what I'm saying.
But that was the thing. The 64 couldn't really do 2D that well. Like it couldn't.
Right,
It wasn't
right.
made to. And the PS1 has a lot of good 2D games, or even sprite-based games.
Breath of
that
Fire.
the 64 just does not do.
Right. Okay, and I get that, but I'm talking about 3D polygon stuff like that.
Nothing of that era holds
No, that's
up.
what I'm saying. Like
Overall,
I don't,
just
I don't,
across
I
the-
don't think you
I
can
actually
clearly
still
say
feel
that the PS1 is
I
that much better
I
than
still
64
feel
is.
like some of them are better on PS1. Like I think the Resident Evil port is. I mean, the Resident Evil is better on PlayStation than it looks on the Resident Evil 2 version of Resident Evil 2 on 64. Like stuff like that, I think is better.
I didn't play on 64.
Yeah, I have it on 64 for some reason. Probably stole it from a friend.
I played it on.
How many of y'all here have ever had a copy of GoldenEye stolen from you?
Oh,
I've had
that's
so
it.
many times. I
Yeah?
probably was the one stealing for all I know.
Yeah.
I probably just got confused though. You know, the was weird about the 64 when I was looking back on it. That was the first system I owned any third-party peripherals for. Because I always like everyone I knew had like a third-party controller that you give to whatever kid you didn't like or whatever. Like I always knew that.
Mad Cats.
Yeah, there's some Mad Cats.
You
controller.
get the like the,
You
gla-
can
the
use
neon
this.
green Mad.
And those
Cat
sticks
controller.
always broke too. Like if you play the games a lot,
Dude,
those little sticks
you
would
say
break all
that,
the
my
time.
Mad Cats controller still works.
Oh, the Mad Cats one's actually made pretty well.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Alright.
Just that. There's.
But yeah,
other-
I mean, like we all had 64s then, right?
Yeah. All right, weigh in.
Oh, I was just gonna say that one of the things I like about the 64 is
Turok.
it's that's nowhere on the
But
list.
it had 3 of them. There were 3.
The
Turok
best
ones.
one was clearly Rage Wars.
I don't even know what you're saying. Let's continue.
The Cerebral Bore.
Dude, I remember.
Turok is not, just for the record, Turok is horrible. That 90s era of that type of stuff in general, horrible. Turok, I can't believe
You were
that
a
the
Native
game is a
American
thing.
who fought dinosaurs.
And people riding on dinosaurs and like, just so horrible that
You were
that
like
existed.
landing on a dinosaur planet.
The fact that they made enough money to make 3 Turok games and then make them later on PS2 and Xbox just
You
blows
had
my
like
mind.
your dinosaur teeth vest or something.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, oh my god.
And that was like, people liked Turok. That was the thing though. People actually did like Turok. There were people out there.
Oh,
who
that
liked
game was not
But yeah,
good.
what were you saying? Sorry.
Anyway, there is something still
I
kind of.
wanted it to be good when I played it. It's just isn't good.
I still think there's something charming about the Nintendo 64, and I think it's the same thing that's charming about every Nintendo console. And I guess it's like that backbone of Nintendo, and they know how to present themselves. Nintendo knows who they are. They know what they want out of their systems, and I guess it's like, well, here's what we're going to give you. Do you like it or not? And we don't really care. And I just think that there is that level of Nintendo charm in the console and the games they produced for it. Yeah, I have to agree that the controller is
Weird.
wacky, and it's like, how does this work? But you know,
But it had an analog stick before Sony did and everyone else did. You know, it had that,
But
and they still had the old ones.
when I go back and play, I still know how to play those games. The controller's still like I can pick up and re-go.
Yeah, GoldenEye wouldn't have been what GoldenEye was if it wouldn't have had that controller.
But I have to say,
GoldenEye's hard now, man.
if I give that to someone,
I can't get it.
if I give that to someone who is, you know, who had never played a Nintendo 64 game before, I guarantee you, they would be like, how do I use this? Which one do I?
With those
which
C
do I
buttons
move
over there?
with?
God, the C
And-
buttons.
Those are still horrible, by the way. That
But
design
I
of
remember the
C
first time we were walking. I was with my dad in Walmart, and there was a demo of GoldenEye, and like I picked up the controller and started playing. He's like, "How do you aim the gun?" I said, well, "You know, you aim it with this joystick." And he's like, "Wow, that's really cool." You know, like
I think it was one
yeah.
stick on purpose because like the way
Right.
But I mean, I would just say like I would agree. Like the games that I'm interested in going back and playing, like majority of them would be on the PlayStation.
because it has better games.
I mean, I don't know to say better, but like I think there's a lot that I didn't uncover at the time that I like going back and playing. I would say like from a story standpoint, I feel like the games are definitely more thorough on the PlayStation. I mean, the Resident Evil, you know me, I love Resident Evil. That was all on PlayStation. You know, some of the Final Fantasies, the big ones are on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And but I would say though that like in terms of breaking ground, Mario 64, GoldenEye. So I mean, what came out of the PlayStation that was just like
I don't want to turn to like let's talk about the PlayStation being as awesome as it is because I mean you had like all like the big RPGs really took off like in the States and in Japan at the time with like a lot of that stuff. You had a lot of just shooters like not like first person shooters and stuff like that, but like top down shooters and things like that. You had a bunch of the tactical type games that came out like the Final Fantasy Tactics or Ogre Battle and stuff, which was on the 64.
Yeah,
which
Ogre Battle 64.
It's really good. It's really good. But like no one really was like buying it on there when they were buying it on the PlayStation 1 at the time. Or just a lot of racing games like Gran Turismo and like the level of stuff in that you're not gonna have that on something like just it was because of the cartridge limitation of the 64 where they just couldn't have as much stuff.
Isn't that why Square went with the PlayStation?
Right,
to
that's
launch
also
Final
why
Fantasy
the
VII?
PlayStation even ended up existing was after the Super Nintendo. Nintendo was like, "Oh, we're gonna have Sony make this and Panasonic make this," but no, they ended up going with their own route,
Right.
and using cartridges. And I mean, in general, the Nintendo just seemed more like this Nintendo seemed more like a toy still to me,
Right.
Like the 64 seemed more like a child's toy, where the PlayStation at the time, Sony was at like this is like a more adult console, or
I agree.
or like that mid-20s, late teen male console.
But I have
like,
to
that's
say,
what that was.
I mean, at the time when I got the 64, was I like
I was about younger too. Yeah,
11 years old, and
Yeah.
so that was very appealing to me. And you know, it all kind of comes back to nostalgia at some point. Like I have really good memories of playing those games, and I know I was still a kid, but you know, I still feel like as a kid I knew what was good and what wasn't, and I still really enjoyed playing those games. Like I can think right now of like nights I stayed up playing Space Station Silicon Valley.
Really good game.
That game is awesome, and just when I got Ocarina of Time on Christmas morning, like I don't think I have memories like that of games really anymore. And I feel like that's really kind of the era
it's also though like we only had like one game for like 8 months. Like now
That is true.
Like now we'll have like multiple AAA releases releasing on the same day.
Yeah,
like
because
three
they're all competing.
Yeah, and it used to not be like that. Like there'd be a Zelda game you heard about like a year or two ago, and that would be like the only Zelda game that would come out for a long time, or like the the only big game you would get for a year.
I think my thing with it would be like because like obviously like I'm a huge Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Final Fantasy. But for me, like, it was like, I remember seeing things on the Nintendo 64, like Mario 64, or being able to play GoldenEye, or, Ocarina of Time, when I just kind of sunk into that stuff, and just being blown away. Like, and like, I feel like they were truly, I'm like, this is truly groundbreaking. Like, this is changing the way that people play games. Where I felt like the games on the PlayStation, although obviously phenomenal games, I've already said I'd rather go back and play them. Like, I don't remember sitting down to any of those games and being like, this is changing. Like, I just felt like it's building off of something that, I don't know how to say it, like, none of them as fun as they were. I don't feel like any of them, like,
I feel like you didn't
changed
play
the
enough
game.
PlayStation games. Well, one, because that's wrong. But two, like Metal Gear Solid, right?
Okay.
Like even something like Final Fantasy VII that I don't really care
I'll
about.
give, I'll give you Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid, and stuff like that wouldn't be done on
We have that
Nintendo
Final
64.
Fantasy like podcast soon.
Right, I know. Well, you have to have the other two play Final Fantasy games first. But no, I mean, like, I don't want to get too much into why PlayStation is better. It is, but like, or has better
I'm not
games.
disagreeing with you.
But
I would.
What would be like? Just give me like 3 good 64 games. Just like go.
3 good 64
That aren't
games.
like aren't like Mario and Zelda. Just for the sake of everyone knows that is amazing.
Remove Mario and remove Zelda.
Yeah.
It- For if nothing else, for the sake of hey guys, go check these games out.
Yeah, better
Right.
discussion.
I'm gonna say Perfect Dark, even though I feel like GoldenEye invented that formula. I feel like
Same
Perfect
team.
Dark.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it was essentially GoldenEye with, in my opinion, a cooler character.
And in full admission, I never really played Perfect Dark when it was out. I
There's a
actually
lot
played
of
back
extra
later.
stuff in Perfect
Yeah,
Dark.
and I used the little what do you call it? It was a called expansion pack because I feel like that's what it was
and
called.
Yeah, it's the expansion pack.
There's the
The
4
creative name.
megabyte and the 8 megabyte or something like that.
Yeah.
It was for that.
So much space.
It was for that and the
Wow.
other crappy game, right? Donkey
Donkey
Kong.
Kong
Yeah.
Country.
Kong 64.
Not a fan.
It's like Banjo Kazooie, right? Same game. Yeah.
No.
That's
Shut
all.
up.
And
Shut
then
up,
I would
idiot.
say,
You moron.
I would honestly say, like, in the top tier games of Nintendo 64, I would say Revenge and No Mercy would be in the top tier.
I'm not gonna disagree with that. That game is really awesome.
Revenge
Oh,
is
yeah.
really good.
Oh, yeah.
Addicting.
You can
And,
like make your own.
I'm trying to think of
Dude,
what
I will
else.
still play Revenge.
Yeah.
NFL
we should
Blitz,
do that.
I will
we need to
play.
just play that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say Blitz is like
Dude.
my top one.
But
NFL
Blitz was also an
Blitz.
arcade game.
Yeah, but Blitz was one of my favorite games on the 64.
I love
Oh,
Blitz.
Blitz. I was gonna say Blitz.
But
is my top
honestly,
three,
to
absolutely.
me, like Star Fox 64,
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
completely.
Had you
blew my
played
mind.
the first Star Fox?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, just making
Really
sure.
don't talk.
Did you know there was a second one that was like at trade shows and people beat it and they never released it? And apparently Miyamoto, the reason they talked about it later, like one of those Iwata Ask things online, the reason they never released it is because it was coming out really close to the 64 launch, and they just didn't want to have that be so close to that, like have the Super Nintendo look like that with the Star Fox game right before the 64 launch. That was like their whole reason. But there's a fully playable, you can download it illegally now, but there's actually a Star Fox 2. Game kind of sucks. It's not that good.
I remember. I think they even advertised it Nintendo Power
Yeah.
and stuff. They would
Yeah, they
advertise
showed
Star
it and
Fox
stuff.
too.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, I played all that.
Now, Star Fox is really good. Like, there's multiple paths you can play. I played that game so many times. Like, yeah. I just like gliding on the water.
Yeah, and I think for me, and maybe I don't know if it is nostalgia, but I just remember seeing these games, like the way that Mario was or whatever it was, and just being like, I wasn't interested. Like I said, I wasn't interested in the what do we call them, shooter arcade flying games.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah, that was driving
like
too
just
later on.
the way that jumping into that 3D world or using that stick to shoot things in the first person shooter, and like that, I just remember just all these different things, these games with the Nintendo 64 that really are the frickin' Rumble Pack. I mean, like just having that, just being like,
no, between that and the
dude.
stick, that's like, I mean,
Oh,
right there, no, they nailed that.
And there were just so many things on the N64 that I just felt like were groundbreaking. That just changed the way that people did things in video games that are now considered that kids now just can take for granted.
Right,
Like
right.
and I feel like the Nintendo 64 introduced so many of them.
I agree.
And I mean, like, how many of those things did you think the PlayStation introduced?
Oh, no, PlayStation was playing catch-up to a lot of... No, I agree with that. And I mean,
I think
they
maybe
were-
that's my whole point.
Yeah,
that it
no,
was
I
like-
agree. No, I agree. But the 64, I mean, was out first, too. But
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
like, yeah, it was
I was
Sony...
gonna say, when did-
Yeah, and that was
when
Sony's...
did-
And that was Sony's
It was
first
like
thing.
a year
Yeah.
after,
But I feel
right?
like
And
then...
for out the gate, Sony.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
and then I feel like they
Right.
really just destroyed the GameCube in terms of like why it was appealing
Oh,
to people. But it was
definitely.
because the
I mean,
Nintendo.
let me put it this way.
But
I went
Nintendo
from
was trying.
64 to PS2.
Yeah, but then Nintendo was trying to play like the catch-up game later on
Right.
after that, and I feel like that's why they decided to go with the Wii the same route they did with the 64, where they were like, forget all this nonsense. We're just gonna do something out of the box, and that works for them. It works for the 3DS.
Yeah.
It either really works or doesn't work at all, and
Right.
they're pretty good with that. What about you, Andrew?
What, my top 3 games?
Oh yeah, something like that. Sure.
3
3 good games.
I was gonna say Diddy Kong Racing.
That is a
that
really
game
good
is
game.
That is a good game.
Superman 64.
Would you wait? Would you say that
Flying
Diddy,
through those
Wait,
training rings.
do you think Diddy Kong Racing is better than Mario Kart? Or no?
Don't make me answer that question.
Serious
dude.
question.
As an adventure game too, yeah.
Oh,
there's
yeah,
a
I'll
better
give you
adventure
that.
game.
I don't like Mario Kart 64, so I'm just going to say that it is a better game.
I do enjoy
really
Mario
like
Kart
it.
That's interesting.
64.
I think that game
It's
looks
not
like,
on-
I think
it's
that
not
game,
balanced,
I think that game
but-
looks like shit, and I think
Like
Diddy
Wario's
Kong
like
Racing game actually looks good. I don't think Mario Kart 64 looks good at all, and I really like the way Diddy Kong Racing looks. Like all around, I feel like it's just there's more colorful, cool stuff going on.
The characters on Mario Kart 64, they were like 2D.
They're
looking,
sprited,
weren't
yeah,
they?
they're sprites.
Yeah.
That's why, yeah, they're 2D sprites.
Like look bad though, not to me then.
Yeah, but you think the 64 doesn't look like shit, so it does.
NFL Blitz for sure. I put so much time. I remember
Dude, way better than putting quarters in that arcade.
I think Best Buy was open around the. Was Best Buy open
That's
around the
been
time?
around, yeah.
Yeah. By the time, I mean the one here I'm talking about. By the time the 64 launched, and I remember playing the Blitz demo for the Houston Oilers. That team doesn't even exist anymore. Plays the Houston Oilers on the on that NFL Blitz kiosk, and then my third. Man,
Quest
Neil,
64. That's what you're
yeah.
gonna.
I was thinking Quest
There's-
64.
There are no problems with that game.
Banjo Kazooie. I would put Banjo Kazooie in there. I mean, I straight up would. I love Banjo Kazooie.
That game is so bad. Like, it's
Why
so
is that
bad.
game bad?
It's just boring. It's just a collectathon of shit. It's
It was
just
so-
bad.
the music
And the
was
art style
so-
is horrible.
fun.
And it's just,
Dumb.
ugh.
I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was a properly
I do like
sized
art
world
style, I gotta tell you.
with, I think, enough cool moves and maneuvers to navigate. Where I felt like Donkey Kong was just like, I would just shoot myself in the head from getting
Yeah,
one
I
point
didn't
to
care
the
for
other.
Donkey
Just for the
Kong,
fact
but-
we all hate Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I don't think
It's not
anybody's
my
on board
favorite.
for Donkey Kong.
Dude, Mario
Which is
Tennis.
weird that game was that bad.
Mario Tennis.
Mario Tennis.
And
okay.
Mario Golf.
Mario
Golf.
Golf.
Hot
And
Shots
see-
Golf
and
Mario
see,
Edition,
that's
yeah.
another thing. I played so many sports games on the Nintendo 64 that I haven't really touched sports
Yeah.
games.
That's because
outside
sports
of the
games
64.
now have become like
Complicated
this,
and
yeah,
boring.
like these like
Simulations.
actual simulations. Like you might as well just go train and play real.
There's a reason we all
sports.
played it.
I feel like,
All-time play.
I feel like basketball in the N64 with NBA Jam and NBA Hang Time, and then like with racing, tennis, golf, baseball,
He's on fire.
racing, all of the
Easy to go.
Nintendo 64. I mean, I didn't play any of that stuff,
Yeah.
like that on the PlayStation.
What about you?
You know, I
You
gotta
didn't
say,
like the 64.
I like the 64. I do. I really do, and I like PlayStation as well. But three really good games. I just said Space Station and Silicon
I
Valley.
agree. That's
That game
really
is
good.
like such a good
I
adventure.
feel like that was
game.
overlooked
Like,
by a lot of people. Even now, like going back to that game is really good.
Yeah. Ogre Battle 64. We mentioned
God.
that as well.
I have a copy of that.
Dude,
What
yeah,
an in-depth game that is! Like
Yeah.
for being on the 64, for being anything at that time, that game is super deep.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
Like that's just filled with content. As far as another game that
He had
hasn't
StarCraft
been-
on that system too, though. StarCraft
Yeah,
64.
there
It's really
was.
weird that existed.
It was-
like just
what
as
about,
a
what
thing.
about Mortal Kombat? Was it Mythology Sub-Zero?
You know, and I like
It's like-
that
it's
despite the
it's
fact that the
okay,
controller
like,
was so bad for all
Right.
fighters, even with what was it? Killer Instinct was on there too.
Killer Instinct Gold.
which is fun, but just a fighting game on there is just weird.
Well, the Mythologies was the adventure game with Sub-Zero.
Yeah, it was the side.
Oh, I forgot about that. I thought you were talking about no. They had the other. I
No,
thought
that was
the
Mortal
They
Kombat
had-
4.
Yeah.
Four,
Mythologies.
yeah.
Mythologies was on PlayStation 2. It was such a crappy game.
Yeah.
Sorry, crappy game.
I
And then
can't
the
think
one
of
on
it.
PlayStation 2, I think, was with Luke
No,
hanging
PlayStation
from
1
one.
had
Oh,
the
yeah,
same
yeah,
Mythologies, yeah.
I don't know. As far as like another one, off the top of my head,
You can
Pokemon
say-
Pokemon Snap. We were
Oh,
discussing
dude.
that last
No,
night.
Pokemon Snap is like
Oh
one of the
my
top
gosh,
3
that-
games. Like I would say that if I
That
wasn't going to use it.
game
I'd be
is
top.
so good.
Pokemon Snap is so good.
I'm sorry, I stole your.
So good. No, it's fine. I actually have a lot of 64 games that I like.
Like
but-
Pokemon Snap, like I was playing that game the other day. I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie.
that game's
like,
amazing. The fact that that's on the DS just blows my mind.
I know, right?
Am I the only person that enjoyed Jet Force Gemini?
No, that game was
No, that
awesome.
game
I
was
would
great.
come over to your house just
I think-
to play that.
I think that was like I think they have one
not,
that's like
not to spend time with your cousin.
No, just to play.
I think you
Well,
have
we
it,
would
like,
play
for-
together.
for like $4 at
Yeah,
play and
yeah,
trade.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm gonna go buy that game.
Yeah.
That game's good.
I need to buy. I think my 64. I don't know where it is. I think
I
it's
have
right there
two.
somewhere.
I think I have 2 or 3. I gave one to a present for someone once. I was like, "How do I have 3 64s?"
I
Yeah.
think I have one.
Yeah, no,
I give you $10 for one.
I wouldn't let you do that. No. So
Get a little
I think
PlayStation case.
I think one of my favorite games is Pokemon Puzzle League. I probably
That
played
game is
that
fun.
like one of the most. Like that's
Yeah,
like
one of
Tetris
those.
Attack.
Yeah, one of
That
those.
game's really good, and it had like all the cool art style from the show and stuff,
Yeah.
and I really really enjoyed that. And along with that, as a side, I actually enjoyed Pokemon Stadium, despite the fact that
Stadium,
there's no
that's what it
game
was.
there.
Pokemon
Yeah, but like
Stadium,
seeing your like cool Pokemons in 3D was like
Yeah.
amazing.
with your game, like with the
and
transfer
then
pack.
they never really did anything cool with that game ever.
Nope.
Yeah.
But like that concept is still really neat to me of like how they marketed that as like something you could do your battles in
also
3D.
the mini games are awesome.
Yeah, no, agreed. I like I said, I mentioned Wave Race before. Like I really like Wave Race. I feel like that game.
Was that a release?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was-
and the way they did
was
the
on,
water
the
and like you
demos
could
and
ride the dolphin, everything
I'm
about
a
that
huge
game's
fan
really
of
cool.
1080 snowboarding as well.
Oh, dude,
Oh.
1080.
I never really got into that. I don't know
Snowboard
why,
kids.
but it was way better than Cool Borders on PlayStation. I can tell you that. I hated Cool Borders,
That's
and people played the shit out of Cool Borders. That game is trash. I feel like I like the PlayStation version better, but I do think that Harvest Moon 64 is a really, really awesome game. PlayStation version had like some cooler stuff
I have
in
to
it.
agree.
Yeah, but
version
the fact that
is
Harvest
good.
Moon just is up at the time, like that's just an amazing game.
It's still a good game.
I played a lot of Hexen on the 64.
Really?
Yeah, and that game's not that great. And
I was about to say, like,
Hexen's like Doom, but like you could do
I
other
did-
shit.
I did
Yeah,
play Hexen.
but Duke Nukem 64 was still awesome, but that was on there.
I enjoyed Duke Nukem 64.
This is one we didn't really mention. I really liked Extreme G. I don't really know if that was
I
on
don't know
other
that one.
platforms.
What
That
was
was
Extreme
it was
G?
like the little motorcycle racing game, like the futuristic motorcycles, and they went really
did-
fast and
oh,
shoot
yeah.
stuff. They had F-Zero.
did
Is
see
it
that.
X?
X.
X?
F-Zero X.
Yeah.
Hey, wait,
yeah.
Super Smash Brothers. We didn't even talk about that yet.
Because we're talking about good games. So, I really think just again, I think that Smash Brothers on Super Nintendo, what? Smash Brothers on Nintendo 64 looks and plays like shit, and the game is just
Dude,
not fun to me.
no,
I
I
like
still have
64.
fun playing that game.
I don't like-
It's
people
so-
like us that like
dude,
if
no.
we had like a get together
I
There's
don't
like,
like-
Super
I
Smash
don't
the,
like
game,
tournament.
the game plays at like 5 frames per second and just looks like
I don't
garbage.
like. I
but-
didn't get into Brawl. I thought Brawl was just like, I'm like, what the hell is even going on
Okay,
right now?
I think
quit.
Brawl like looks really cool. I like to play by
It
myself,
looks
but it's
cool.
not.
I think it looks
not
good.
all the.
But like,
I mean,
whenever I get on a big screen and play it multiplayer, I peace out, dude. I'm just like, this is too small, too aggravating, too much. I feel like
I'm not really the biggest Smash Brothers fan, really. I think they're cool. Like, I think it's cool fan service. Like, I really like everything they put in there, but I really thought the 64 version just played like crap. So, yeah.
But it's all we had, so we didn't know any better. So to us, it was awesome.
Yeah, but I was still smart back then, so I knew it sucked. So I wasn't dumb
Yeah,
and
you're
just
like
thought it was
30
awesome.
years old back
That
then.
game
This is
Oh my
true. Hey You Pikachu is not good. So I'm
No,
not
don't
gonna talk about
God. Get
talk
the
about
microphone. Don't-
It's
You
super
mentioned-
responsive.
you mentioned
It knows everything you're saying.
You
perfectly.
mentioned San Francisco Rush, and I actually put a lot of hours
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah,
What was the
Rush
feature?
2049.
Yeah. So good. Like that was like really good.
The game is good.
Castlevania Legacy of Darkness was not good.
No.
that was on
Castlevania
there,
64.
though.
No.
But yeah, I mean, there were like you said, Rogue Squadron, the Episode 1 racer game, all those stuff was like really good. I didn't like Episode 1 Battle for Naboo, but people did play that a lot.
No, I
on
didn't
there.
care for that one.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I mean, there were games I really enjoyed on the system. I think, like you said, GoldenEye. I don't even know
aren't
how
you a
many
big
hours.
Mario Party advocate?
God. Is that where it started? It had to be where it
Yes,
started. It wasn't.
it
Yeah,
is where it
yeah.
started, yes.
Horrible game, horrible franchise, horrible series, horrible idea. There's nothing good or fun or like slightly enjoyable, challenging, or competitive about that game. It's complete shit. And that is probably the worst. That's actually the worst.
Next week
Nintendo
we play
franchise.
Mario Party with Neil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
worst game, worst party game. There's no party in that game. Wii Party is better than that game. That game is
No.
no Wii Party is. Game Party probably not. But there's just that game's horrible. You can come try the new demo at Best Buy right now. Actually, it's really exciting. I love demoing that game to kids. But no, yeah. I mean, Nintendo 64 is cool. It was fun. I just don't think that. No, I don't think it. I have way more fun with my
I
PlayStation.
definitely think that
One had Parappa the Rapper. One didn't.
That's
I definitely think that the PlayStation has aged, or the games on the PlayStation have aged much more gracefully. Just in terms of like,
You know
I
why?
really
It's
wanna
because
go
they were
back and
better then.
experience
So
that.
that's probably why.
Well, it's that 3D graphics when they first started like getting off. Like,
Well, actually, you know, it's funny. It's still like that now, though, because even on PS3, the games that were in 3D, like the
I mean,
3D
that's-
models,
yeah,
it's
it's gonna
the
be
2D,
for-
2D graphics are just gonna hold up better. 'cause
Sure,
the
yeah.
tech works.
But I was
Something
thinking,
like
I've been
yeah.
playing a lot of my Super Nintendo games, and like, I'm sorry, Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo looks better than probably 90% of the crap on
It definitely
Nintendo
looks better than
64
New
and
Super
PlayStation.
Mario Brothers Wii. I can tell you that. It looks better to me than that. So
Like- Can we just make all games sprite based again? Like,
apparently, it's really hard to do that.
2D
though. Like to have
just
someone have to
2D
do
based.
all that stuff for
well,
every
because
frame.
it's like nowadays it's like all hand drawn stuff.
Yeah, it would have
It's
to be. It
very
would have to be
impressive.
like so many frames. You have to have so many people doing all this animation to do that.
Like Odin Sphere. And
That's
games
why the
like
fact that freaking that Rayman Legends or whatever it's
It
called
looks
game-
beautiful.
Looks
Yeah, Rayman. Yeah,
amazing.
it always looks. I think it's Origins.
Rayman Origins,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah, Legends is the other one. That's not as beautiful.
Yeah, looks
But yeah,
fantastic.
no, I don't know.
Everything's
I like the 64. I
hand-drawn.
hope there's more, ports to the what do you call it, the 3DS and stuff like that of like cleaning.
Sure, yeah.
Because whenever they ported like Star Fox and
Zelda,
Ocarina,
dude,
those both
Ocarina,
looked beautiful on
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Star Fox
Mystical
looks
Ninja.
fantastic.
Yeah, Mr.
Oh,
Ninja
yeah,
Goemon.
that,
yeah,
that's another one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Yeah.
snap.
I'd play that for hours.
Was there anything else in the 64 that I just annihilated? What was the damn Kirby game, the Mario Party?
Crystal
Dude, you know what I annihilated? Chef's Love Shack.
That game was really good.
That was really good. My
Oh,
dad
was
was
it
like, why are you
allowed to
playing
play
this?
it?
Why am I allowing you to
Yeah,
play
I
this?
wasn't
I'm
allowed
like,
to play
I'm like,
that.
go away, Dad. And I think he ended up playing with us. Like,
Because the game is hilarious.
I mean, I actually, like, South Park 64 sucked, but at the time I played it, I thought it was funny.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
pee on a
exactly.
snowball and throw it at a chicken. So, like, but I did enjoy Chef's Love Shack. I thought it was I thought it was fun. Dude, come on. Like, whenever I found that secondary fire for the snowball was I could pee on it. Like,
That was the best thing. I remember that too. I played that
Yeah,
a lot.
dude.
Oh, we didn't talk about it too much, but Conker's Bad Fur Day
Oh
is
man,
like
Oh,
the
man.
funniest. Which when they remade
then
it,
you
on
got
Xbox-
that was like the swan song for the 64, wasn't it? That was like their last thing.
Well,
I
you know,
mean-
when you saw how it was originally produced by Rare, it was going to be like this
Yeah,
kid-friendly,
well,
like
he was
super
in
good
Conker
game.
was in Diddy
Yeah.
Kong Racing,
Yeah,
and he was
yeah,
like,
Uh-huh.
Was that his
happy
first? Was that his
Yeah,
Yes.
that was before. Yeah,
and that was like the
Some-
pre-promo
And
to
it's like all
Conkers.
sweet. And he has like games on the Game Boy Color. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Conker games.
That's
So
normal.
cute.
Yeah.
And then they
Fluffy.
advertised Conker's Bad Fur Day, but was he would like
And he's
throw it
like,
up and his head's in the
huge.
toilet or something.
yeah, he's like
he was drinking heavily. It was like something that wouldn't be on a Nintendo system anymore.
right,
But
exactly.
dude, yeah, I think it might have got. I mean, did
It's like
Conker's
Nazi
Fur Day do
bears.
that well,
You know,
Right.
like
or
it's
has it just going
I know
down?
that
later
it's
after the
we
fact?
sell it for a lot.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
it's
it's
weird.
probably doing better
We-
now than it was back
That's what I'm saying.
then.
Is it an after the fact thing for everybody that had it, and then you'd go?
It
and
was
play
just
it?
it was everyone had PlayStations by then, so no one was buying 64 games.
I
It
mean,
was at the
that
end of
is
the life.
true.
Yeah, it was at the end of the
That's what I'm saying.
64
It was
life.
Swan Song. It was like their final like.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And
yeah, I love.
you know they
Conker.
remade that on Xbox, right? Like the original Xbox.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
Tim
right.
Tyler remade it.
Launch and reload.
It's not
like,
that it was
Live
bad.
and
It's just that
Reloaded or
game
something.
design was like the same game design doesn't hold up now.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
what that game was, it just doesn't. It was funny when you played it, but like
Right.
stupid humor, and it's
Right.
like yeah. But
Not like in Borderlands 2.
which is amazing.
But yeah, 64 good system, a lot of good games. I mean, I would say that in terms of what it contributed to video gaming overall. I mean, even if
I mean, but
consider
that's
overall the
you
game
can
selection
say that
was
about
not
like
as good,
a
but I
lot
just
of
feel
stuff.
like
Hey.
As far as cartridge consoles go, it's like an awesome last.
It was like
hurrah.
it was what to say the least of the ones that were released by Nintendo.
It was an awesome.
Was it not? Thank
Okay,
you.
would
that-
actually-
that's-
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you, Andrew.
I gotta go.
It was a
I
good
would
last
do
hurrah. I
one
liked it.
False, but
You're so stupid.
I would say the Game Boy
was a good
Advance is
last
way better.
Cartridge because it was like the last cartridge console. Like, how
Which
was
would
it
make
not
it
good?
more, which would make it what you just said if it was the last one. So, I think that was really good. But no, 64, I liked it. I just didn't,
I mean, like I said, like if I'm gonna go back now and like from that era, I'm like I want to pick 5 games, three games. We'll say even 3 games. 3 games that I really want to play right now. I would pull more than likely. I would pull most of them from the PlayStation library, just because I feel like the games were more mature.
Yeah.
I feel like story wise they hold up better over time. Graphically, but but I still do think there's some really really fun stuff. And like you said, I hope that they keep bringing these things to 3DS. Like, 'cause
Right.
I will
feel
play
like
them.
the Nintendo, when you're talking about like the Nintendo 64 doing things that was like revolutionary at the time or propelling video game stuff forward, in a way, like trying new ideas. I feel like they succeeded more with what their promise was with the 64, with the things they were talking about with 4-player games, with 3D movement, with a lot of things they were talking about, and delivered on that way better than they did with like what the Wii's promise was,
I agree.
with like
I
motion
know.
controls and things they were revolutionizing again. Because like with the Super Nintendo, they were like, "This is going to be like your regular Nintendo, but like way better," and like that's really what it was, And the
Super
64,
Nintendo was like, hey, remember that that Sega Genesis thing? Watch this.
yeah,
Watch
and-
this little magic trick.
yeah,
real
but
quick.
it was really cool the way like the 64 like just it did 3D movement really good for certain games.
Mm-hmm.
And the PlayStation for a long time didn't do that, and even eventually later still didn't really do 3D movement that well with certain games.
I mean, I would definitely say like even like some of the top tier games on the PlayStation, like Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil, like it's
And
like
Tinshu,
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
dude.
pulling up your gun, walking. I mean, I definitely think they were like Ocarina of Time. I thought was just way smoother than a lot of those.
and it was like on their first go. Like that's the thing, because
Right.
Nintendo does like they have prototypes forever, but like it was like their first release. It was just like solid, like that worked really 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 well. So no, I mean all around like 64 good. Go buy one, they're cheap now. You can get them pretty cheap.
$20-30.
Yeah.
Do we want to get into your statement that you made about this? Let's not. We're not gonna touch that.
About what? Oh, like that
About the
one I made 2 weeks
64
ago?
being the last good Nintendo.
No.
No,
system.
that was more of a troll.
Because it was incorrect. So we can go into more how incorrect he is.
Yeah.
What's your
yeah.
favorite Nintendo system?
We went over that. Oh, we kind of
No, we just talked about favorite consoles. I think.
Yeah,
I don't
I think I
think
did.
specifically.
But mine
Nintendo.
was Nintendo system. Yeah, and it was a DS because it was the last great cartridge-based system or whatever. Dumbass
Not
trying
a
to say it.
console, dude. It's a handheld.
No, no,
That
we
doesn't
don't get
count.
don't even get into that concept.
That's-
It's still a
that- oh my
console.
God.
It's still
No,
a
but
console.
it's so
It's a
stupid.
handheld console. It's stupid. What happens?
So dumb.
Stupid.
God, it's so stupid.
Go write something correctly.
stupid.
Then we can figure this out. Yeah, so we done? Do we know?
I like the Super Nintendo.
Do we know what we're talking about next? Do we know?
Do we ever?
Do we know what we're talking? We always know. Always plan this.
I will say this. I will say that October's coming up. Josh and John Michael, really big fan of horror movies.
Oh yeah.
So I'm definitely thinking we can Nerd Takeout's going to have a pretty fun October. I have some ideas I'm going to run past the guys, but
yeah, Walking
definitely
Dead's
think
coming
that
back soon.
November. I'm sorry, October. November's a
Definitely
month.
ready for Thanksgiving.
November's that month when everyone's
November
like,
is.
oh, we gotta wait for Christmas, right?
We're gonna talk about what we're thankful for in November.
Yeah.
It's the
We're
PlayStation.
gonna have 4 podcasts about what we're thankful for, 20 minutes apiece.
Don't we do that at the beginning of every podcast already? Okay.
So we have to extend it to an hour. No. All right. Anyway, so thanks for listening, guys. Let us I want to know what did y'all think about the Nintendo 64? What were games y'all liked on Nintendo 64?
Do you like Borderlands 2 as much as we do?
Borderlands 2. If you're
What's your favorite gun?
Do you not like? I'm worried. Do you like Borderlands 2? What do you like about Borderlands 2? But if you don't like Borderlands 2, why?
Yeah, can you come up with a reason?
As long as you are not a Wall Street Journal employee, you're allowed to
Can
answer
you,
that question.
if you can come up with one good reason, like a good, solid, unique answer of why you don't like Borderlands 2?
I don't like first-person shooters. Done. Neil wins.
No.
Doesn't
That
count
works for me.
Then we'll give you nothing. So
I'll give you a special shout out.
Yeah,
Anyway, so
shout out.
guys, let us know. Give us some feedback. And again, there's a lot of movies coming out. I know there's several that I haven't seen that I'd like to see. There's more coming out. So if you guys have seen some movies that you think that we should go see, worth some mention, worth watching on Netflix, there's a lot there that that times we don't catch.
Tell us if you like The Dark Knight Rises.
Don't.
Oh, if you have a good team suggestion for me to beat my friend Evan with next week, in Pokemon. Literally this entire podcast I've been trying to EV train and raise Pokemon of good natures, but I can't. It's so difficult. So
He was so distracted that he said Space Chase in Silicon Valley was a good game. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Anyways, all right, guys. Thanks for listening. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you liked, and see y'all next time.
all right.